Good, man. Busy, nonstop, nonstop.
I see that on your stories. I like watching those. It's fun.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, we're having a blast. It's insane. It's just insane is the best way I can put it right now.
That's awesome. So you did you just barely launch this, or is this another person's company? What it's called OhSnap, right?
Yeah, we're in a pre-launch right now. March was our first full month of testing everything, logistics, merchant services, just all of our systems basically. So we officially launched the company May 17th, but in the pre-launch, I mean, we've crashed the website. We've done everything you could do in a startup. It's just been crazy. I mean, we got the demand for the product right now is pretty incredible. So we're pretty pumped, man. We got a big launch event at our facility in Texas on May 8th, and then May 17th we officially launched. But yeah, we put a lot of ambassadors in the first month. It's been pretty crazy.
That's awesome. So how did you guys come up with this, or who is it your company, or is it a bunch of you guys?
Yes, Najla and we're the founders. I'm the CEO of the company. I have a billionaire business partner, Terry LaCour. So, we just, the last company we did was a DNA based supplement company. You do a DNA test and then we create a custom supplement for you. We just look for what's happening, what's new, what's fresh, what's relevant. Then we take, proprietary blends that we have with clinical studies behind them. We put science and nature together and we go smash it. I mean, that's basically the deal. So this was built for speed and longevity and, to take around the globe, a product that we can take everywhere.
So I went and ordered the Surge, but I saw there was like 5 different ones, right?
Yeah. So Surge is that's the gangster one there. When just be prepared, man. That one is strong. We formulated that. It's got a proprietary blend in there that will boost nitric oxide 230% naturally. Yeah. So we got a lot of people in the fitness industry, workout people. It's also hit pretty hard in the nightlife. People are doing Surge and 1942 tequila. They're making margaritas with it. But I tell people it's not for the faint of heart.
Is it like an energy shot?
Yeah. It's basically, I'll show you what it looks like. So yeah, it's just this is called a snap pack. Inside of here, you basically snap it and you can, it was designed to go in water, but if you're not a wimp, you can take it straight to the head.
Oh, gotcha. You just take it to the dome.
Yeah. I prefer it. I prefer it straight, but some people, I warn people the first time you take Surge, you might want to put it in like 2 ounces of water just to tame it down a little bit. There's no sugar in here. We have no artificial sweeteners, nothing like that. It's just straight high octane ingredients with a drop of.
What's in it?
What's that?
What's in it other than nitrous oxide? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's we got our whole S7 blend that won awards. So it's like beetroot. I mean, there's like 7 plant-based nutrients that are designed around boosting nitric oxide. Then we've added L-taurine. We've added B12, which is another big energy booster. We've added raw green coffee bean, which is the caffeine source in it, but there's a big difference between roasted black coffee bean, dead black coffee bean, and a raw green coffee bean, because you get all the micronutrients and all the things that were designed to go with that caffeine. So yeah, we put a lot of thought. We have 15 full-time research and development scientists that work in our laboratory 5 to 7 days a week, every single day. So we put a lot of energy and a lot of time into it. We also have the Complete, which is 18 organic greens, vitamins, minerals, got Neurofactor, which is our patented blend that we have clinical studies around memory and focus. I've got another product called Reverse, which is our anti-aging deal, and it's the cellular repair. A lot of research around, look, if you can take care of your cells, you can take care of your DNA. Cancer starts in your cells, aging starts in your cells. So we've got a nutrient called AC11. We got clinical studies behind it that shows it lengthens telomeres by 40% naturally. So that's for me, that's my claim to fame. I've been taking AC11 for about 4 years. I tell people 20-year-olds have a hard time keeping up with me. And I say a lot of it has to do with that AC11. So we packaged it and called it reverse. I tell people I'm going backwards now. I mean, I'm like Benjamin Button. And,
there you go. Have you?
And,
so
yeah, and then we've got
a.
Well, these particular ones only because we were formulating them last year during the pandemic. You know, probably 6 months. But the different ingredients I've been taking in different forms for a lot of years. But now we just put them in convenient snap packs. So throw it in your bag, your backpack, your purse, your back pocket, and super convenient. You don't have to refrigerate it. You don't have to worry about it, that kind of stuff. So
there's how many different pouches do you have? Like how many different products?
I just have 4.
4. So can you take those like throughout the day, or is it like you take one in the morning, you take one in the afternoon, like just different times?
Yeah, it depends on the person. You know, like for me, I replace coffee with these two, you know, the reverse and the surge. So in the morning before I hit my workout, I pop those. Midday, usually around this time, maybe in about an hour or so, I'll pop a complete, which is all the multivitamins, and then at night I take the sleep. We got a snap for sleep that's like chamomile, melatonin, magnesium, pharma-GABA, anything you can think of. Like I just said, anything that's known to man to help someone fall asleep naturally, put it in there. we jam pack these things. What's that?
Oh, I said gotcha. That's awesome. So when you started taking it, it's called HG. What is it?
AC11.
AC11. So you start taking that as anti-aging. So like, is it good? Is it like as far as like looks, as far as or like organs, or?
It's for your cells. So you know, you're on your cells. You have these little tiny hairs, like things that they call them telomeres, and when they shorten and when they fray, you know, that's you can. There's tons of research on this now.
Yeah.
When your telomeres are shortening, you're aging. Of course, cancer starts inside of your cells before it ever shows up anywhere else. Your cells are messed up. So what AC11 has some impressive clinical studies around its ability to lengthen and repair your actual cells. So in your entire body. So it's not just picking certain cells. So some people, you know, show different things. For me, I'm just, you know, I got high energy. My skin is always good. I'm always fired up. I'm ready to go. And, you know, I don't have, you know, after I turn 50,
do you have that crash like you do on like caffeine?
Yeah, we don't mess around with no crashes, man. We don't formulate products like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me, so you've been into that for like 8 months. I've been following you for probably about 2 years, maybe a little less. And it seems like you have a lot more to you than just like what goes on your Instagram and your stories and stuff like that. Like, tell me a little bit about like your history. Like, where did you get started in business? I watched a few things and, you know, and watched a couple YouTube videos and stuff. And it's pretty intriguing.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm your least likely CEO of a company because of my background. You know, but entrepreneurship, you know, became the natural thing for me because nobody would hire me. You know, I'm a 10th grade dropout. My first felony arrest, I was 15 years old. I spent a lot of my teenage years locked in juvenile detention facilities. Wow. Had a heart attack from smoking cocaine, which we now know today as crack. Back then, we were freebasing cocaine, and that led me to a drug rehabilitation facility where I was locked in because of circumstances. But a guy named Dave, a former motorcycle outlaw gang member, you know, really held the mirror up to my face and said, "Look, man, all this stuff you blame the police, the teachers, everybody else, your parents. It's all you." And he was the first person to introduce me to personal development. He gave me a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. He planted a seed. Man, that book, I didn't even know this information existed. I had no idea this stuff was even out there. Anyways, he was the first guy who planted the seed that business was my way out of my neighborhood. Business was my way out of my circumstances. Because I was like, you know, I didn't think there wasn't, you know, people like me just did, this is what we did, you know, so, but that was where the seeds were planted. I was 17 years old. The last time I was arrested, I was 24, July 4th, 1993, sitting on the bullpen floor in Milwaukee County Jail, waiting to go to trial. 4 days sitting on that floor. That was where I really finally made a decision to stop being half in, half out. And you ever drink too much and you're over the toilet saying, God, if you just let me out of this, I'll never drink again.
Not for a long time, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that was me on the bullpen floor saying, if you just get me out of here, I will never, I won't live like this again. And it took a long time to get through all the legal stuff, but 7 years after that, we finally cracked $100,000 as a full-time entrepreneur. My first year as a full-time entrepreneur, I only made $4,000. So I sucked so bad.
What were you doing?
It was a company called TPN. It was the People's Network, and yeah, it was very interesting. It was very interesting. We were basically putting personal development in people's homes via satellite, which I quickly discovered people don't give a shit about personal development for the most part. The masses don't. But when digital hit, DirecTV, it was PrimeStar at that time. PrimeStar started offering like 3 HBOs and 3 Showtimes. So we caught on, stopped selling personal development, sell people HBOs and Showtime, and then that actually took off pretty well. And that was the beginning, but it's still, because I was so rough, man, I couldn't speak well. I couldn't, I didn't have my shit together in any way. But over a period of time, the right mentors came in my life and helped, to shape and shift and, kind of move me in the right direction. So that's really what happened. But it was 4,000 my first year, 16,000 my second year. And then the 7th year, I finally cracked 100,000. Then it went to 200,000. Then it was millions, pretty quickly after that.
So, and that was with the company you were just mentioning, PPN?
Yeah, that company ended up getting bought out by a company called Prepaid Legal. So,
no kidding.
Yeah, they were buying this company for the communication to communicate with their, at that time, I think Prepaid Legal had been in business, I don't know, 20 some years. And they had a massive sales force. They wanted to communicate using the satellite technology. In the end, they ended up scrapping the satellite technology, and what they didn't bargain for that turned out to be the best part of the deal was they got this built-in sales force that I was part of, and we came in and we smashed Prepaid Legal. I mean, we just crushed it, and I think I was in the top 20. Here's a company that had 500,000 distributors, and within 3 years, I was in the top 20 distributors of all time in that company. It was just,
that's life-changing. That's crazy. So and then after that, did you start your own companies? Because I read something about jets, like
yeah, I've always as an entrepreneur, I've had publishing companies, real estate companies, mixed martial arts, cage fighting companies.
Really?
Yeah, you name it, I've probably done it. Most of them were failures. I've had restaurants, nightclubs. Anything entrepreneurial, I get an idea and I go for it. And the beauty of like the Prepaid Legal, and then we launched another company, a skincare company. I've always had massive, it's all relative, but for me, they were massive cash flows. So when you got $250,000 a month coming in, whether you work or not, it can afford you to go play around with a lot of traditional businesses. What's funny is that a lot of these traditional businesses, none of them ever gave me the time freedom and the money freedom that I got from building, we built a skincare company that we got involved in, and we took that to 8 countries. We were doing 220 million a year in that deal. But after about the 3rd or 4th year, it was on autopilot. That thing was smoking without me. We figured out scaling pretty quickly. We figured out, get this sucker duplicating, get out of the way. Salespeople don't duplicate very well. So we got really good at dumbing everything down, pushing buttons like a McDonald's franchise, man. Pretty simple. Press a button. Burger Boy knows what wrapper to put the filet of fish in. It's just simple. And that we got to scale. Asia, South Korea was actually my #1 market. So we did really well overseas. And then, so we just keep following that model. So when we founded OhSnap, the first thing I wanted something unique. I wanted something relevant. Then we just create. So everything's built on people, product, process, community, culture, compensation. And we built systems to drive all of that. but we focus heavily. Look, when I make $20 million, my team makes $100 million. So we flipped it, you know, where you see a lot of CEOs and a lot of leaders of organizations, they make the big money and then the scraps go to everybody else. I've had people with me now, 20 some years, because they know they eat before I eat every single time. And we take really good care of our people. And that's been, I think that's been a big part of if we have a claim to fame, that's been a big part of our claim to fame. Our people stick with us because, you know, they eat well when they're around us.
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw, I don't know if it was a video or something I read, but you were saying like you're the anti-multi-level marketer. Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah. Look, network marketing saved my life, man, because nobody would hire me. Nobody was interested. I couldn't get a good job. I was a janitor at General Electric, and that was about the best I was able to do based on my background. And we have a society that slams doors in people's faces, even if you paid the dues, you did everything you were supposed to do. There weren't a lot of openings, but network marketing was like, look, we don't care, you know, what your background is. You know, we'll provide an opportunity, we'll provide products, we'll provide a system. You just got to work, and you don't get paid if you don't work. It's the purest model out there. What I don't like is today they still teach a lot of old school techniques that just can't work. And it's a lot of people, you know, it's a lot of people with a lottery mentality, you know, and if they invest $300, the average investment in network marketing is about $300. They invest $300, and if it don't work, they blame network marketing. They blame everybody. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a scam. I'm like, show me someone that lost their house because they invested $300 in a company. But I can show you a bunch of people that invested in real estate projects, financial projects where they lost millions of dollars, and you never hear people talking shit about it. So, you know, exactly. So I have this love-hate relationship with it, but it literally saved my life, man, because, you know, nobody would hire me. And I was not the guy you wanted, you know, without something to keep me busy, because I was not doing good. You know, I was not good for society the way I was. So, and that's where I met Jim Rohn. I met a guy named Jim Rohn, who was Tony Robbins' mentor. A lot of people don't know that he comes from network marketing. That was his claim to fame. That's where he made millions of dollars. When he talks about his mentor was his sponsor in a network marketing company. And anyway, so that's Jim Rohn provided so much information around leadership, marketing, sales, philosophy, duplication, team building, that it completely changed everything for me. And I had such incredible, later on, billionaire Paul J. Meyer, who was part of our upline supports. Paul J. Meyer owned 60 different companies, but he was heavy in network marketing companies, because he was another person that pointed out it's the purest form of sales, man. You do the work, you get paid. You don't get paid. It's, you know, and anyway, so these guys became incredible mentors that really shaped me and helped me to learn the skills that I needed to go and do anything I wanted to do.
Gotcha. And so as far as like your OhSnap company, you guys are doing it, it's not multi-level, but it's like I didn't get a chance to check out the ambassador program yet. I just ordered the product. But the ambassador program, so you're having people become ambassadors, and then they're selling just like how you guys have your account?
Yeah. So when you become, like, we've taken the best of, like, most affiliate programs out there just suck. I mean, they're really not good for the affiliates.
Yeah.
You can make some money. I know affiliates. Yeah, they're great customer acquisition programs for companies. But if, you know, take Fashion Nova, for example. My wife was a Fashion Nova girl. We killed that contract because I'm like, look, you have so many people that come back later on and buy clothes that you referred to, but you're not getting paid on those third, fourth, fifth, seventh orders that they make later on. You just keep putting customers in there. You got paid when the first time, but after that, you don't get paid anymore. And then when those people refer people, you get none of that. I mean, it's really a shitty system but look, if you're at home and you're a Fashion Nova girl and you're getting paid for doing that, it's better than, you know, getting a job, I guess.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
what we build is a program that says, look, if you come on board, you market our product, you're going to get paid on that product. If you bring someone, you refer someone, you're going to get paid on what they buy. But if they ever buy any other products from us anytime in the future, whenever, or if they refer anybody, you're going to get paid on that as well. So we've put the affiliate marketing on steroids. And that's why we're starting to attract such big name athletes and influencers. By the time we get to May 17th, the whole world's going to hate us because they're going to see, OhSnap on. They're already starting to see it everywhere. We got some killers on our marketing team that are just, so we're taking the best of e-commerce, drop shipping, network marketing, affiliate marketing, putting it together and creating what we believe is the ultimate economic machine. If someone's looking to create a money-making cash flow machine, like how I came up on, we built it for speed and longevity, man. We got the sickest products. We got LaCour Nutraceuticals, my business partner, Terry LaCour, he does $1 billion a month in supplements, highest quality standards in the entire supplement profession, so we're pretty proud of what we got, man. But we're just getting warmed up. Let's have a conversation in 12 months and, see, compare where we are today to where we're going.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as your OhSnap, like I see you guys, you're in Scottsdale, right? That's where you guys live?
Yeah, we live in Scottsdale. Our logistics and manufacturing and all that is in Texas, but all of our front end customer support, all of our marketing and everything is in Arizona.
Gotcha. Yeah, I actually moved from, I was like Scottsdale, Tempe border, but I was there for like 3 years, and then we moved out here to California. But I see you at like all the old stomping grounds. You're at like Bottle Blonde, and you're over at Cake, and then you're like, and so are you? Yeah. Do you do a lot of? I found when I was there, I was doing a lot of recruiting, and then we were selling spa packages for a beta. It was a lot of fun. We go around to all the different bars and stuff. Are you finding that you're promoting your products really well by going to those places and just talking to people? Because I found it was like, I like social media. I'm kind of new to it, but the face-to-face interactions of just like sharing your products with people out while they're partying it's really. I was a little bit nervous at first, but it's well received when you go out and just start talking about it.
Yeah, fortunately, social media has made my wife and I pretty well known, and then and especially in like you go into Old Town, like we're really well known. So we have a ton of, we got, friends of ours that own the clubs or general managers of the clubs. So, people are popping Surge along with, bottle of 1942 tequila, it's so once they see someone snap that pack, all of a sudden people come around like, what is that? What is it? There's a curiosity factor because nobody's ever seen it before. It's very rare to be able to say we're first and we're the only. We're the first and the only. I see entrepreneurs going into all kinds of things where they're certainly not the first and they're certainly not the only, and they do great. They make big money, but we figured out if you can be first to the market, that's an advantage for sure. But if you can be first and only to the market, it's game over. So I always say, look, I tell our ambassadors, competition's coming because we got massive supplement companies trying to figure out how they get the machine that creates the snap packs that do what we do. So they're coming, but by the time they come, we're so far ahead they can't even see our dust. I suspect we'll be 150, 200 million a year by the time you start to see any significant, any relevant, because I already know what it takes to get to this point. So by the time they get here, we've already built a massive, massive lead on them. And of course, we've made a lot of people financially free in the process. And the products are just super sick, man. The products literally, you feel when you take that Surge, just mark my words, you're going to hit me and you say, bro, this is the best I've ever had, without a crash, without sugar, without all the additive. Like people are drinking like a Bang cotton candy flavored energy drink. They ain't feeling shit.
I'm guilty. I drink a lot of caffeine, so.
Well, trust me, bro. I was the same way. So when you see this, and then when you really understand what we did and what we put into this thing, like our S7 blend won awards for nitric oxide boost. So if you work out at all, like people are taking it as a pre-workout. Mark Henry, the world's strongest man record holder, WWE wrestler, the whole bit, gold medalist. We talked for an hour yesterday. He's like, man, I feel incredible. This is unbelievable. He's coming to our event May 8th just because one of my friends gave him the product and he's been taking it. And he's like, this is unbelievable. It's insane. So we focus the time and energy to number one, create an amazing product, but that's only one piece of the puzzle because we're not saying supplements are the end all cure all. We're saying that's one piece to being healthier. You got to get active, get off the damn couch. You can take my supplements all day long, but if you don't get off the couch, they ain't going to do shit. But so we create a culture and an environment around movement, around activity. Hey, that could be That could be going to a club on a Saturday night, hanging out with your friends, getting, I believe people that celebrate live longer, feel better. Look, give me a reason to celebrate. Last night was Tuesday. That means Taco Tuesday. I was out celebrating Taco Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. It's hump day, man. I don't have a job, but I'm going to celebrate because it's the middle of the week. So I believe in that big time.
It makes me miss Arizona.
Yes, I love it here, man. I've been here about 11 years. And
so you were in Milwaukee before that, or where?
Yeah, I was born in Milwaukee, so I lived between Milwaukee and Chicago most of my young life, and then later on when I became an adult, which I use that word loosely, that's when I started moving around. I've lived in Orange County, California, Mission Viejo. I've lived in Melbourne, Australia. I've moved around a little bit, but this is home, man. This is home.
Yeah. What brought you to Arizona?
Business. I got hit to bring a skincare company, Minerals from the Dead Sea, to help this company get out of the malls and create a system that would drive it. So we came here specifically because they were located here, and I fell in love with the place.
Is it the hand scrub? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, it's, you've seen them in the malls. They pull you over. They drive you crazy. They try to get you to buy. Yeah. You'd be surprised on how big that business. When I was shocked when I found out they were doing $100 million a year in malls with that formula, pulling you over.
Yeah, they got me at Scottsdale Mall before.
Yeah, the thing was, like, people don't realize L'Oreal manufactures their products, and we went to Israel and went to the L'Oreal manufacturing, and the executives at L'Oreal said this is the highest quality products of all L'Oreal products, the formulations, and they're being sold in the mall. So people discount it, but if they really understood, man, they had to create a formula. They had to formulate a product that would get your attention, that would give you immediate results, because they were pulling you and hard selling you in the mall, never seen you before, and they had to get you to. And when I found out the numbers, I was blown away. But the biggest challenge for them, no Americans want to work in the kiosks. But they were having a hard time getting people from the Middle East getting visas. So it was getting harder and harder. So we basically got them out of the malls. We took them from, they had 1,000 kiosk locations. They were doing about 100 million a year. By the second year, we pretty much took out all the kiosks in the US and Canada, Australia, but we doubled their revenue. And by the second year, without the headaches, without the employees, without the overhead, without all the extra stuff. So it was, and they're still cranking today.
So how we linked up is actually, I was following, I think it was like Ryan Stewman or Sean Whalen, one of them, but they had mentioned you in their stories. Have you done a lot of coaching? Because, like, obviously that's how we started talking, was about coaching. Like how long have you been in the coaching business?
Yeah, the coaching thing is really not my thing at all. That happened more in action. I'm a business builder, man. I have a hard time selling people on coaching stuff. So for me, it's like, if you got a business, you want to scale that sucker, you want to build systems in there, you want to simplify it, you want to take the thing internationally, you want to get all these pieces together. That's where I come in. I don't do much of that anymore. At one point, my limit would be 5. I would take 5 clients. Now I don't do any of it. And then I did launch, because there was a group of people that felt they got scammed by a big name coach that took all kinds of money for them. So I decided, hey, I'll do a mentoring program. We call it the 90-day run. My goal was only to do it 90 days. And I gave it to all those people for free. And then it just exploded. There were so many people that got on it. It ended up going for about 1.5 years before I finally killed it. I said, look, this is not where I wanted to go in the first place. It's not where, and I was making a lot of money at that point from it, but the money is never the driver for me. Fulfillment, alignment, energy. And I think there's just too many damn coaches, to be honest. I think there's so many coaches that haven't done shit. And I hate being in that category. Like, I'm in the same category as some guy who's never, what's that?
You can definitely, I was just saying, you can definitely, once you've been following enough of them, you know which ones are legit and aren't.
See, that's the thing. Like, a guy like you know what to look for. But it was amazing to me how many people would put me in these categories. Now I get some of the coaches, they look really pretty on the outside, but if you start to dig a little bit, you find out this dude never even had a business. I don't even think he even have an LLC for his coaching program. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So I just say buyer beware, man. Do your homework, you know, and know what you're getting into. But guys like Ryan Stuman's my brother, man. I love Ryan. Ryan's the real deal, man. He goes out there and makes shit happen.
I've been following him for a long time, and he's at first, you know, like you start watching some of these guys, and you know, yours not as much, but some of their stories are pretty funny, you know, and you look at it, and you're like, who the hell is this? And you start watching their stories, and they have all these memes, and you know, then they flash their Lambo, and then they, you know, and so you start seeing which ones are real and not, and then it's pretty funny to see that, and then like you dig in a little bit deeper, and you're like, wow, this guy is like not his surface image at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like they go so much deeper into business and motivation and things like that. I was watching a few of the motivational speeches you did. I don't know if it was at a church. Were you doing something at a church speaking?
Dude, let me tell you what happened.
I looked at it. Yeah, it was some kind of I don't know if it was a podcast or just some kind of motivational speaking, but you've done that quite a bit, right?
A lot. And you know, what happened is, like, I tell people started calling me motivational speaker. And I said, look, please don't call me a motivational speaker. I'm an entrepreneur that speaks. But what happened for me, I started building these sales teams for myself. And what do you got to do? Well, I got to get them moving. I got to teach them the skills.
Yeah,
so I used to tell people, I remember, like, I'm a terrible motivational speaker. Clearly, I remember when I had like two guys. I had two salespeople finally, and I proceeded to try to motivate them, and both of them quit after my motivational talk. They both quit. I said, man, I really suck as a motivational speaker. But eventually, I started catching on, and then before long, like, just give an example, in South Korea before the pandemic, you know, I spoke to 30,000 of our affiliates in a massive arena that, you know, we put up a couple $1 million to put on this show. You know, that was 30,000 people, but those were people connected to me. When they sold something, the company benefited. We earned an override from that. So almost all of those talks that you see were organizations that we built. When I was in the American Airlines Center, and 20,000 people, that was our sales force. Those are people that's what we built. But then from there, what started happening is I started getting calls, DirecTV, you know, major insurance companies, and they started asking me to come and be a keynote speaker at their events. So it really started from me taking care of our own people, and then people would, like, you know, when they call you and they say, hey, we'll give you $25,000 for an hour. I'm like, okay, I'm there. You know, that's hard. It's like, yeah, and I get air freight there. I get to hang out in that city. You're gonna feed me. I'm like, all right, I'm in. Let's do it. Yeah. But that's not my deal. You know, I do that, and just like now with OhSnap, we'll grow this ambassador program to tens and tens of thousands of people worldwide. And I'll just go, and at some point I'll go to these events, and, you know, now the COVID's just about over. I'll go to these events and I'll talk to our people, you know, and we'll hang out, we'll break bread, we'll do big ass parties and just enjoy each other and make money together.
That's awesome. So, and then the other thing that I was looking into, I said you did $1 billion in sales. I don't know if that was an article I read.
Yeah.
Was that in a certain time frame, and like what company, what product was that?
Yeah, that was the skincare deal. That was we did, my partner Josh Denny and we did I think we did 1.2 billion in the 8 years that we were there. So it wasn't a year.
Gotcha. Yeah, not in a year, but
yeah, that was accumulated. And now, you know, now we've done, you know, probably 1.5, 1.6 billion until I don't even keep track of that anymore. That was cool. When somebody told me we had hit $1 billion, I was like, dang, and that wasn't a number I was going for by any means. It just, you know, they pointed out, I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. So, yeah.
So as far as like your style of like selling or recruiting, like obviously like the ambassador programs and things like that, would you say that, like, do you usually go sell the products yourself, and then, you know, you're like, you just did a test run over the last 6 months, right? Oh,
yeah.
Did you?
No, sorry, I had a call coming in. I just declined it. Sorry about that.
No worries. So, as far as like your ambassador programs, and, you know, in the past when you've done that large of, you know, commissions, are you usually going to, like, you sell the product, you've been doing a test run for like 6 months with OhSnap?
No, I've been doing a test run. Really, last month was the first full month. We started the test in February, and then last month was the first. I've been formulating the products going back to COVID. We were working with formulators to get all this stuff ready. In February, we opened up to actually start taking some orders, and I put the governor on, because the first day we turned on the website crashed. There were so many people that hit the damn website in anticipation.
Oh, wow.
So we you know, all that's past us now. But I it's just like when I owned restaurants. You know, we would do a soft launch first to make sure everyone's got their shit together, and because May 17th is our official launch, where, look, it's got to be smooth. For us, it's perfection. You know, there isn't, you know, any other option. Like, you know, even you, I think, had a challenge when you put your credit card in to buy the Surge product. Didn't you get an error or something? Did you get was that?
Yeah, so it came up as error a few times, and then the last time I did it, there was some other notification, but then once he said it was fixed, it was fixed.
Yeah, I have my programmers all over that stuff. So that's why we're in pre-launch, because when you gave me that feedback, I immediately went and we looked and we found a challenge. It wasn't on your end, it was on our end, and we fixed that. So by the time we get to May 17th, all this stuff will be, you know, worked out.
How many orders came in that crashed your site?
That day we had in the first hour we had, I don't know, the number was stupid. We had 20,000 people hit the site as soon as we turned it on. It was
wow. So, and how do you set something up like that? So, like, I've always been in like the face-to-face, like what me and you are doing right now, but in person. I've always done direct sales, knocked doors for like the last 17 years. But I'm really intrigued in getting into like what you do and the social media and all that. But how do you set that up? Like, so you're finding the influencers and the companies. Like, how are you getting to where day one you turn on your website and there's 20,000 people?
Well, partly because I've been in business 27 years. So 27 years of you know, accumulated, 27 years of you know, influence, 27 years of building companies with a, you know what I mean? So I never tell people.
Are you just putting the word out there to your whole network? Is that really? Pretty
much, yeah. But the thing is, I have an army of killers that have been with me for quite a while. So when we launch something, they're ready to go. They know, you know, we've created so many $1 million a year stories, $1 million plus stories, that they know when we launch something, it's going to hit. It's because I don't launch a lot of things. You know, I'm an investor in a private jet company. I've got a pharmaceutical company going public on the Canadian Stock Exchange next month. We got a fire suppression. We got lots of other companies that I'm an investor in, and I'm in pre-IPO status with a lot of companies. But when I focus in on something that this is what we're going to do, it usually hits pretty hard, because, you know, it's just what we do. We got a formula. And then when your partner is Liqueur Nutraceuticals, all the back end is already built. Like, we don't run into the same problems that a normal startup would. Number one, a lot of startups are not well capitalized, and it takes money to do a lot of the things. Money is the least of our issues. You know, money is not our challenge at all. People hit me up all the time, you know, about investments. I'm like, I don't need your money. What I need is people. What I need is people for the system that I can pay. Even when I turned off my mentoring program, I was like, look, instead of you paying me to mentor you, become an ambassador in my company, and I'll mentor you and I'll pay you for me to mentor you. I don't know where you get a better deal than that, because you work side by side. You'll learn scaling, you'll learn leadership, you learn team, you learn accounting, you learn all these pieces to building a world-class organization, communication, all this stuff. And so we've changed the game quite a bit, but the bottom line is, I've got a strong partner, which allows us to have a startup with $1 billion backbone. I got massive logistics all over the world, you know, from here to Europe to Asia. So we got people that do this stuff, you know, full time. We got a full-time legal department, full-time, you know, any part you can think. We don't outsource any of it. Almost all of it is our employees inside of our system. So it gives us a big advantage.
Yeah, I can imagine. So as far as once, you know, we haven't talked about it all, but like once COVID hit, how did that change things for you, or did it?
A few things. I had an ice cream company, an investment in an ice cream chain that got hit really hard. They had to shut all the stores down. We had landlords that didn't want to work, so we kind of bunch of those stores just done with that. So I had a couple of companies that really got hit hard, and because of COVID. But then I had other companies that exploded. That COVID actually helped, and being in a situation where people are uncertain about their futures, having an economic opportunity for people really turned out to be a massive economic boom for us. Is that, look, I can provide you some certainty in some uncertain times, and you can make some money. If you got Zoom or you got an internet connection, I can show you how to make some money, sitting at your house, while you're, or being locked in your house, under the circumstances. And so that helped quite a bit, so in the end, in a lot of ways, COVID helped. It killed all the speaking gigs. We had a few $100,000 a year coming in just from speaking gigs for other companies, which most of those were taken because I love to travel and go hang out with my wife in different cities. And it's nice that people invite me and treat us nice and and put us on their stages. Yeah. So that kind of sucked. That part sucked, but it also got me realizing that we don't need. I got so used to traveling every week that it just became part of my system. But being home for 3 months, I kind of like that better. So, now I'm being offered speaking gigs, I'm like, yeah, maybe we'll see. I'm not as excited about doing that anymore. I'd rather focus in on our company.
Gotcha. So do you have like an office in Scottsdale, or do you mainly just work from home and remotely?
Yeah, we have one of my partners is Cody Sperber, the clever investor on social media, and we've got an office in Tempe, just outside of Scottsdale. So we got a studio there. Tonight I'll do a live opportunity deal at the office. We got a beautiful studio. We got a big training center, offices where customer support is, and so yeah. But I like my home. I like being at home, man. So I pop in there from time to time. But I'm not an office guy, man. I'm not a guy who can sit in the office for very long. I got to move around.
And then what I was going to ask you, it seems like, how long have you been into fitness? I saw that you actually you competed in a bodybuilding thing.
Yeah, my wife forced me into that. That was because yeah, that was interesting.
How long ago was that?
That was what was that? 2000. That was November 2017. I did that.
So how had you ever competed or done anything like that where you weight cut?
Nope. Would never do it again either. That ain't my thing, man.
Well, you got in great shape though.
Yeah. One thing, I've always been in health and wellness. I've always realized, what you put in your body is going to affect your energy. All these different pieces, these components. You see so many people are, that really shouldn't leave the house because COVID might kill them because they've been on the couch eating bonbons and potato chips, half their life and not paying attention to that, eating off the dollar menu, slugging down 40 grams of sugar in every drink they take. It was like, for me, I caught on very quickly. Sugar is not my friend, so I don't mess with sugar. It's part of our mission behind our company too, is to help people get off of sugar, man. Get off the Starbucks coffee that, the foam whipped cream, sugar brew, whatever the hell they're drinking, and 40 grams of sugar in your Monster energy drink. This stuff is messing people up. When you look at the child obesity today and child diabetes, we reward our kids with sugar. We're killing our society, and sugar is probably the biggest. We're worried about drugs and alcohol. Well, first get people off the most addictive substance that we're putting in everything, which is sugar, and it's creating all kinds of havoc in our society. So we got a big mission, man. But I've been off of that for a long, long time, and that's a big reason. Like, when I turned 50, I was like, man, I don't want to be like a lot of my 50-year-old friends. Belly's out of control. They're lethargic. They're looking like shit. They feel like shit. They're struggling through the day. They're on a bunch of pharmaceutical drugs. I just refuse to be that guy.
So how do you fit that in? Because I see you guys are at the gym a lot. Like, is that something just daily routine, like every day before you go to work?
Yeah, it's what's your priority, man. For me, it's my health is comes before everything else, not before everything. You know, I got my spiritual walk, I got my family, my health, but look, my family suffers if I'm not healthy. I got 4 daughters. So look, I got to be around, man. It's funny. The dude from Matrix, what's his name? Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I saw an interview he did. And I can't remember who it was. It was on one of the late night shows, and they asked Keanu Reeves, "What do you think happens after you die?" So the question is, what do you think happens after you die? And it's funny to me because he said, "Well, what I think happens after you die is the people that care about you the most are sad." I said, "Well, that about sums it up, because I don't really know what's going to happen after I die, but I do know the people that care about me the most are going to be sad, and maybe really sad." So I'm like, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to stick around for as long as I can, if not for myself, but for other people. So I like to take care of, and for me, just staying in the moment. I would never do that show again because it was brutal. It messed up my lifestyle. I couldn't celebrate. I had to carry around meals with me. It was like,
yeah,
not going to happen.
yeah.
I believe in balance. Like you'll never see me do the 75 hard. Part of it is because it's 75. It's called hard. I don't want to mess up my life like that. Why would I do that? When you can do all this stuff in moderation, you don't have to be insane to be healthy. You don't have to be insane to live long. You don't have to sacrifice all the things that you like to be healthy. You know, I like, you know, my billionaire mentor, Paul J. Meyer, he was 80 years old, climbing mountains, scuba diving, doing stuff, having push-up contests against 20-year-olds. He was 80 some years old, but this wasn't a guy that was competing in bodybuilding shows. He did this whole thing on balance. He looked at everything in moderation and not too extreme in any area. And the guy became a billionaire and was one of the healthiest guys you'd ever meet in your life.
That's awesome. So do you have, like, you know, like a lot of guys talk about like the core 4, things like that. Do you have like a certain set criteria you have to meet every day? Like you have certain time with your family, certain, because you're talking about balance, so you just do everything in moderation. Do you break up your day and schedule like that?
No, no, I'm not a real organized dude. I'm a fire, ready, aim kind of guy. If I wake up in the morning and I want to,
It's go time.
yeah, I might just switch it up. You know, I might not go to the gym, you know, at 7 or 8 a.m. I might do something else and get to the gym at 2 or 3. You know, so I'm not. I'm not a super regimented guy, but I am big on gratitude. I am big on affirmations. I am big on what you put in your mind is what's going to come out. So transforming minds, bodies, and bank accounts. So I'm always focused on those areas, but I don't have to. I'm not rigid, man. I'm super flexible. I'm like, you know, hey, you want to go hiking tomorrow? Let's go. You want to go swimming tomorrow? Let's go.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome. So is it with your businesses, like you have several, but like is there an end goal for you, or is it just a always continuous growing these?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. Anytime I start a business, I've got a pretty good idea of where I want to take it before I would exit that business. You know, so I do build companies with the end in mind. I do build companies so that at some point there'll be a liquidity event. You know, that's why I like investing in a company that's going to IPO one day. You know, I know that going into it, so I know at some point I'm going to get my money out of it. Yeah, you know, but I love this, man. This has been part of my life forever. Like I said, entrepreneurship saved my life. Network marketing saved my life. So I enjoy doing this, man. I get fired up talking about. I get charged doing this every single day. So I don't know what I would do, man, if you took entrepreneurship away from you, took the ability for me to go out and go crush it. In that area, I don't know. I'd probably drink a lot. I'd probably be drunk on a beach.
Hey, yeah, no, I had a troubled childhood as well. Like a lot of partying and drinking and drugs and stuff like that. And I feel like the reason I kind of gravitate to guys like you and other people online that are transparent about that is it's almost like it's a way out of your addiction, right? It's like you know, it's a way out of that lifestyle, but it's still fast paced and fun. There's still partying. There's still excitement, but it's, I feel like a lot of guys that get off drugs or, you know, get off that type of a lifestyle, it's either like they just die inside or they just decide to take it somewhere.
Yeah, you know, look, I tell people all the time, I simply traded one addiction for a new addiction, man. You know, instead of cocaine, business, because look, I was 16 years old, had $1,000 a week cocaine habit, almost 17. So with no job, but do you think it was Tuesday night, I'm getting high. Wednesday night, I'm getting high. There was never a night where I'm like, oh, I'm not getting high tonight. No, I'm getting high. I don't have any money. But I'm getting high. I knew it. And so what I figured out is if I could go with that same relentless pursuit that I did for drugs, if I could do that in business, I mean, that's what happened. I just simply, there's no excuse. Like in my company, OhSnap, it's pretty simple. And I tell all of our ambassadors the same thing. You're only limited by you. You're the ones that see the obstacles. You're the ones that get derailed because someone doesn't get it, doesn't see it, doesn't buy whatever. I never do. I go from one failure to the next failure with enthusiasm, man. I'm like, all right, they're an idiot. I got to keep rolling. They're going to be unhealthy. F them. I'm going to keep rolling. They don't want to make any money. That's fine. They can be a bum. So, that's what I say in my mind, to keep me. And I just go from one, next. I never quit. But if I could go chase drugs with that enthusiasm, why wouldn't I do that for something positive? Take that same energy. The mind is a powerful thing. And once you look, I made a decision, where we're taking OhSnap. I made a decision a long time ago. So there's nothing that could possibly stop me from taking it there except for me. So every single day I'm putting another step in place. Every single day there's another brick, to build this thing up. And if more people got that, if they understood that, they wouldn't bounce from things. They're like ships without rudders, bouncing around, never quite getting where they want to go, always making excuses why shit doesn't work. And in the end, I had a mentor that said this to me. He said, look, it was a company that we were part of. He said, the product is the same for you as it is for me. The opportunity is exactly the same for you as it is for me. So those two are constant. They don't change. The only variable is you. So the reason why I'm crushing it and you suck has nothing to do with the opportunity, has nothing to do with the product, has everything to do with you. He basically said that I suck. And he said it in a way that I guess wasn't so harsh. But I got it. I said, okay, if other people are crushing it, then I just got to figure out what the hell they're doing and then do exactly that until I'm crushing it. And that's really what happened. And it's another thing that we teach our ambassadors is like the only thing that's stopping you from going to the top, the only thing that's stopping you from making $1 million a month, because that's kind of the bar now is you. It's 1,000% you. And when you get past you, that the world starts to open up for you. And that's what happened for me, man. So yeah, every day, man, I'm enthusiastic about what we're doing. I love what we're doing. I believe in it. And I believe we can change a lot of lives doing it.
That's awesome. It as far as like your income, you said you went from like not making, you went from like 6 to 15 to 20 to 100, right? When I first started selling, it was just seasonal. It'd be like 4 months out of the year. And I think my first summer was like 12 grand or something like that. I was 18. I thought I was a millionaire. And, and then I went up to 24 and then I kept building and it got more and more. Do you feel like, like your cap in your head goes up, right? You're like, okay, I made 16, but I kind of half-assed it. If I just did this, I'll make 25 and then I'll make 100. When you're dealing, do you feel like it's even easier or harder once you're at that, multi-millionaire status? Like when you're like, do you feel like it's easier in your head? I don't know if that makes sense, but like easier in your head to double down than it is when you're at like 5-6 grand.
Well, it's funny, I when I was really hungry, I did better. I was way more out there. Now I feel the comfortability kick in sometimes where I would have pushed it a little bit more because I was hungry and a bill needed to be paid or I wasn't going to live in that house anymore, that type of thing, where in my mind, I'm convinced. Back then, my mind wasn't convinced, but I knew if I kept doing the activity, something would happen. Something would break, I'd get paid. Now, in my mind, I already know. So I have a little more patience built in. So I don't, maybe I'm not moving quite as fast as I did. I'm still moving faster than most people move because most people are always evaluating shit, trying to figure stuff out before they make a move. I already know for a fact where I'm going, but I'm not quite as aggressive, as I used to be. Does that make sense? Like I'm just not. Sure. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just not
Yeah, I mean,
because my
you
hunger is
got money in
different.
the bank, you're not gonna, you're not gonna hunt like you would if you're on a mattress on the floor, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so,
The bills are paid. If I roll over in bed or out of bed, my bills are paid for the next years. So it's
yeah.
a different deal.
Now you hear a lot of guys that are, at your level, they run companies, they're CEOs, and they've made millions of dollars and done all these sales. Like, do you feel like a lot of them are, I don't know, I guess telling the truth, but like, do you feel like this is for you as well, where you're always taking your money and not making it accessible? Because you hear that a lot, like, like Grant Cardone or a lot of these guys that are online, or just anybody, they talk about not having access to it, like they have to go get another deal to get something else. Like, have you played that game? Like, do you feel like that's helpful for you?
No, but I don't know.
Like
No,
having your money wrapped up, like you make 150 grand a month, like if you make that in a month, and then you just make it non-accessible to where you're basically having to hunt from zero again.
yeah, see, I don't roll like that. I'm not built
No,
like
you're
that.
just like, you always have access to it.
Well, look, I'll tell you what happened. 2008, when the bottom fell out of the economy was collapsed. I was flush with cash. I was sitting on a ton of cash, so I bought a house on Camelback Mountain for pennies on the dollar. I bought a beach house for pennies. I bailed some people out of businesses that ended up turning around and making me big money. So I feel the same. Look, I'm pretty confident at some point the government's going to stop printing money. It's going to have to, and the piper will have to be paid at some point. And I think there's always cycles in our economy. So right now, I like the idea of stacking cash and being prepared for when something happens, and I'll be there scooping up some pretty nice opportunities, and I sleep better at night, with a whole lot of cash on hand, knowing that, I don't have to worry about anything. So
Yeah, you got the rainy day fund.
yeah, I like Grant Cardone. Grant, like, I think Grant is amazing, dude. Like his philosophy, like to get rid of everything, and I don't operate well out of. I mean, I already did desperation. I did that for long enough. I have no interest in operating out of desperation ever again. That's just not where I'm at right now. I do believe for a young entrepreneur coming out, operating out of desperation may be the best thing that could happen to them, because if you give them money, they're going to blow it anyhow, and then they're sooner or later you're going to have to hustle like like you're starving, or you should, and I did that for a lot of years. So I just, at this point, again, after 50. You start to evaluate stuff. I don't want to hustle like I'm, dead broke. If, Grant's 60 and he ain't hustling like he's dead broke either. I mean, the dude, he's got private planes and staff and everything else. So, it's a different program. It's one thing to say it, and there's a whole other thing to actually live it.
Definitely. And so as far as just your overall lifestyle, are you, like, you guys do a lot of stuff. I mean, I see all sorts of different stuff come up on your stories and your posts and everything. How do you find balance for it all, or do you have a lot of these endeavors that you're in? Are they just running smoothly on their own? It seems like you guys are out a lot, just having fun.
Yeah, people say it all the time. Yeah, because most of my investments, I don't operate them. Are other people operate them. So there's nothing for me to do. I put my money there and I watch the numbers, I watch the valuations, and that's it. Someone that we believe in is operating the stuff. OhSnap is a different animal because I'm involved in the day-to-day operations of the company. So we're watching everything. So, but the beauty of it, we're building a lifestyle company. So I'm living the lifestyle that I'm encouraging our customers to live. I'm living the lifestyle that I'm encouraging our ambassadors to live. That doesn't mean you have to be out every night, but for me, I like to celebrate. I like to be in the gym in the morning. I like to go travel. I like to be on the beach. I like to be flying in helicopters and airplanes, and I love to be doing shit. So, but all the time, the beauty of it is you can run a Fortune 500 company today right from the palm of your hand, from your cell phone. I mean, we got more technology in this phone now. I got all the tools I need in my phone. I could just give me Wi-Fi and put me anywhere in the world, and I can run my company. So it's a different time. Like the way I live today, I couldn't have couldn't have did this 10 years ago. I would be stuck, to an office. I'd be stuck to a location to be able to run the company properly. But now the world has shifted dramatically. And COVID sped it up. COVID helped a lot of people realize, oh, I don't have to be tied to one thing. I don't have to be tied to one location. And I caught onto that a long time ago. I've been using a lot of these high-tech tools for a long time because I never got in business to make money. That's what people don't realize. I got in business to be free. Now, of course, in America, to be free, you need money. But for me, I had lots of friends that had money, but they had zero time. I didn't like that lifestyle. You got money, but you can't enjoy it because you're trapped into something. I didn't like that. I also had friends that had lots of time, but no money. They weren't free either. I didn't like that lifestyle either. So I said, my whole mission in life has always been about how do I get time and money? That changes the game. So when you see my life, you see a life that was designed to be able to control my own destiny, to sleep until I'm done sleeping. If I want to go to Disney World with my kids on Thursday, we could say Wednesday, we're all going to Disney World on Thursday. Don't have to ask permission. I'm not chained to anything. That's most people will never experience that. Even people that make millions. And that's what I build. And that's what I show our ambassadors how to build the exact same lifestyle. And they can do it to whatever scale they want to do it. We want to do it in style. So we scaled it to a certain point.
So now by joining the ambassador program, like you've been talking a lot about that, are you running remotely? Like, are you getting on every week and talking to your ambassadors? Do you do it like on Skype? Like, how does that work?
Well, like tonight, when every Wednesday night, I do an opportunity Zoom. So I'll head over to our studio. Actually, pretty soon I'm going to jump off this Zoom because I got to get ready to go over to our studio. I'll do an opportunity Zoom. We do that every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and that's about 30 minutes. And then every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, we do a communication update training. Like last Saturday, I think I did what did I do? I think I taught 650 to freedom. I teach our ambassadors how to use ratios to become free and how to get their ratios right and how to really go through the numbers properly using technology. I'm not big on salespeople because salespeople don't duplicate. Systems I can get duplicating, simplicity I can get duplicated. So we teach how to push buttons like McDonald's. For me, I studied the whole McDonald's deal from Ray Kroc, from what they built. That's such an incredible distribution story that I said, look, I want an OhSnap rep on every single corner all over the world. And I want to have a systematic approach so they're not puking all over people. They're not trying to hard close them on this deal. They're pressing buttons. They're sending information. They're using our technology, or they're handing out, whatever. But they're getting out of the way.
Is that ClickFunnels?
Yeah, we have an app that we've actually we got ClickFunnels, Constant Contact, SurveyMonkey. We got a CRM in there. We took one app for our ambassadors and put all of it in one app. So right in the palm of their hand, they got a funnel system. They got they press a button, it sends videos out, pre-written text messages. They can put surveys up on social media that attract people. We're right now building massive amounts of social media assets that makes their personal brand look incredible. These are things that we've used to go viral in the past. We just give them to our ambassadors, but it all leads back to OhSnap.
So, I mean, regardless of somebody's background or education level or anything, it sounds like they could be a part of that.
Yeah, for sure. Look at me. I was a high school dropout, felon, bum, couldn't put two words together properly. My wife is an incredible introvert. Like, selling was never her thing. We built it. I have people on the team that are actually deaf. We got people on the team that are incredibly ill or going through cancer, and from hospital beds, pressing buttons on an app, sending information out and earning income. So I tell people, look, if some people want to just supplement, they want extra $1,000, $3,000 a month, I got you. Some people want to make $100,000, $1 million a month, I got you. Just depends on whatever program you want. But the hardest way, the most difficult thing is to create a residual income stream if it's all about your ability to communicate. If it's all about your mouth, your fancy footwork, that's difficult, because if you shut down, the whole deal shuts down. So I warn people, I say, build a business that grows in spite of you, not because of you. And that's a whole different animal. So we've designed everything from the ground floor that, look, one day I might not be here, but it's okay. The company, there's a system that runs the whole deal, and we'll keep running it. We just put someone else at the head. It's hard. It's gonna be hard to find a pretty face like mine, but we'll see what happens.
That's awesome. Well, hey, I know you got to run. I appreciate you getting on, and we'll definitely talk soon. And I'm gonna get on the ambassador website and check it out, and we'll get.
Yeah, bro. Let me know. I can send you the link to the ambassador thing. Any questions, whatever, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Keep doing it, man. It's entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of entrepreneurs, man. I'm a big fan. Whatever I can do to support.
Yeah, it's been good talking to you. I stopped doing the door-to-door thing, and I'm actually sitting here at my farm right now. So we're building a farm and orchard, and yeah, it's just interesting to talk to different entrepreneurs, especially someone at your level. So I really appreciate you coming on.
No problem, man. Yeah, let me know if I can ever be of assistance. If you like the idea of, you know, being an ambassador in the company, it's not like you got requirements. You just say, hey, if it ever pops up in a conversation, you send a link and you make some money. Pretty simple shit.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks, John. You've been awesome, man.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. Hey, thanks for being a customer, by the way. Appreciate that, man. Let me know when your product
no worries, man. I'm excited to try it. I'll have to put down the Bang energy drinks. So
please do. I'm telling you, man, because when even the no sugar ones, they're using artificial sweeteners that cause fucking cancer in laboratory rats.
Yeah, I know. I started reading about it. I'm like, they're bad. So if your stuff could be a pump, I'll give you my $70 a month instead of the consumer. So.
Well, and I'll take it, bro. But I'll give you in return. I'll give you a much better, cleaner alternative. I promise.
All right, brother. Have a good day. Okay.
All right, you too, boss. Later.